All right, good afternoon, everybody. So I wanted to do a real quick little video on planting fruit trees in an HOA neighborhood, because this seems to be one of the biggest questions that I've got. And I also plant in a lot of HOA neighborhoods. In fact, this has really become sort of the thing now, is I'm doing a lot more HOA neighborhoods now than ever, because everybody's also wanting to add some fruit trees to their yard. So it's just got to be done correctly, and it's got to look good, and it's got to pass. So as you can see here, these look really good with the landscaping of the neighborhood. These will tie in really nice here, and we'll have no issues at all. So you just want really good looking trees, and you want to make the appearance look really good. So what we did on these is did something a little bit different than I would normally do in a fruit forest, and that is by putting these concrete tree rings in here and then pulling the rock up against the tree, which I think will work perfect in this situation, because we've got these beautiful trees that have already canopied over. So I got these trees. If you guys are looking for really good citrus trees, I get the best citrus trees from Bill Habib, and he runs a place called Mountainside Tree Farms, and he's out here in Mesa by me. And it's kind of a little known gem because he's got some of the best trees out there, and they're all old orchard trees. So he's fourth generation. Some of those trees are 120 years old out there, and so the fruit on them is spectacular. And all the trees are on sour orange rootstock, which is my favorite here for planting in the ground in Arizona soils. You can plant those without amending heavily. You could just use pretty much native soil. In fact, he uses a lot of native soil in the grow bags that he grows these in, and so they're already used to the soil here, the native soil. Now what I do is I add my compost with these, and it just turbocharges these fruit trees, and it gets them really big really quickly. So what I like about these trees is they've been really taken care of well. You can see that the canopy has been allowed to grow down instead of being trimmed up like a tree. I mean, it is trimmed like a tree, but it does have its canopy here, which is shading the trunk. And then additionally, he'll put on some trunk wrap to protect these, because these are out there in the full sun. So you can see the way I have these are on a slope. So this is on a grade. We've got about probably a 4-foot drop in the back out to the street here. So we got these as pretty much as straight as we can get them on a slope. So of course the back's a little bit dug in more, and the front's a little bit higher, which makes the whole tree ring pretty much level. And you can see that the trees are either on grade or just slightly above grade here, with the root flares exposed. I've got all these nice and exposed like they're supposed to be. And then I've got that same type of little donut where the area around that root flare drops down into like a moat, so that this area in here is a little bit more shallow than the outside edge. So this holds an incredible amount of water within this 4-foot ring. So all we have to do in this one is I'm going to go back through and I'm going to put a little bit of compost as a top dressing. And then, unlike the other video with the peach, I'm going to actually put a little bit of mulch on the inside of this, just on the inside ring, just right in here, not towards the trunk. That'll all stay nice and clean, and it'll be allowed to dry. So it'll be trunk, and then it'll be compost, a little bit of compost here, and then a little bit of mulch out here just to kind of keep the edging cool, because it's going to be hot. I mean, I can just tell you right now, this is not ideal. This is probably worst case scenario for trees. I mean, they just don't like rock. I mean, rock's hot in Arizona anyway. And then of course you've got it coming in off the hot street, which is hot, and the sidewalk's hot, and the rocks are hot, and the concrete tree rings are hot, and we've got to cool all this down with the tree. So it's good starting with this shape, because now I don't have to struggle so bad with having to cool down or shade these trees. They've been field grown, they're used to the full sun, they're already mature, and they're already producing fruit. So we've got we put 4 in out here in the front. We've got a grapefruit here. This is a Mexican key lime. This is a thornless Mexican key lime. And this one's treed up just because that's the way they're shaped. It's just the way that this particular citrus grows. We've got an orange over here. And you see how it droops down. It's got that nice canopy that's going to cover the trunk, allowing it to cool all this area down, because I'm telling you, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot, but your compost and your mulch in there will keep that cooler, and then letting that citrus tree grow kind of over that well is going to keep it all nice and cool out there. That's probably the best case scenario that we can do. And then this is a lemon, and this one needs to fill in a little bit more too, and then it'll hide its trunk also. So, and already got fruit on it. These are already of mature size. So I think these look really, really good in the landscape, especially if you're wanting to do something in an HOA and you want it to be tied in and look beautiful without having anybody bother you. Then it might be that you just go with something that looks like this. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching.